Hello there, Internet. Hello there, YouTube. Welcome back to the Hermit Gamers solo hardcore playthrough of X-Men Legends 2. We're doing this eventually going to try to get every character through, and you should be able to tell who this one involves. Anyway, let's get in there. Let's get started on Act 3.
Let the games begin.
Well, Act 3, one of the more dangerous areas in the game, primarily because of the core. I'm just gonna go have a little chat with.
Well, with the help of a few it's a new. That's why we're using it. Yeah.
We're gonna talk to him, and then we're gonna bugger off to the core, get it over with. I am under leveled for this, but you know it is what it is. Let's just see if there's any items we can get here. We really kind of like just shoved our way through Act 2. Like we got past the tricky parts of it. And then from there on, it was kind of free. So what do we got here? Electricity? No, it's worse.
Do you need help with anything?
Worse. That's worse. Okay, plus 15 damage. That's top shelf. We definitely want to hold on to that one. I'm not fussed about any of that or any of that. Alright. Let's grab some energy packs. And see if this guy has any equipment worth picking up here. Doesn't look like it just based on a quick once over of the names, but I'm not the most astute person when it comes to picking up on these things. Anyway, we just went through, and unfortunately he has nothing. So no guaranteed gear upgrades, but that's, at this stage of the game, that's not that big a stress. We actually have quite nice gear for where we are. And that's one of the reasons why I don't mind sort of shoving ahead a little bit. Also, so one of the nice things about playing someone like, yeah, you just gotta kind of shove your way through here. Sucks a little bit, but... Alright, that's a scary mob, so we're just going to ult them, get rid of them. Those guys can stun lock the hell out of you. And with the amp damage aura, you know, that's not Tony for a good time stuff. That's like Sally for a bad time stuff. Bro, go through the fire, please. Don't sadden me. Okay, there we go. There we go. Oh, extremes. That's beautiful, just in case. You never know. And we are gonna have to start dealing with combo shields from this point forward. Oh, alright, hold on. Something I am gonna have to do. Well... after this fight, at least. Bruh. Yeah, so the bleed deals with them quite nicely. But yes, what we need to do here is just quickly peep what this one is. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So this is a really good ability. Not only does it just do a fat chunk of damage, but it then makes the enemy more vulnerable to ongoing damage. We just need to make sure we have a keybind for it, because it's definitely something I will use. Alright. Yeah, that's the one. Alright, so we just want that as... yeah, alright. Looking good. I'll just make sure it... yeah, there we go. So it's got a pretty decent attack pattern. You can kind of use that as like your ad clear, but you can kind of use that as like an everything ability if you just want to max that and like save points on everything else. So the main danger here are these hammer guys. These guys are just kind of ankle biters. They love to like... they're just kind of here to like drain your resources and just stay alive and be annoying. And then they run away. Yeah, they just exist and stop you going forward because, you know, they're going to be just existing there on your flank. So we want to take out all these hammer guys and just kind of avoid miss the combo shield. Now we know what he's vulnerable to. Okay, that was unintentional, but I'll take it. So you can throw these guys into the poop water and they die instantly. It's not poop water, but you know what I mean. Radiation poop water. It's a type of poop. Poop water is just bad water. You know, we're using poop as a metaphor here. I am a rider, by the way. Expect me to use these kind of advanced techniques. So yeah. You chuck them in the poop water, they die instantly. It's a little bit trickier than it sounds. And a lot of enemies on this act can also pop you up and potentially one-shot you if you play around the water. So yeah, depending on what's out on the screen, you may just not want to mess with it. Alright, this is a bit scary, so let's just junk, get out of here. So this guy's ultimate is a pretty good delete button. I do prefer Colossus's demolition, just because like demolition guaranteed hits everything on the screen. This hits less things, but it does more damage to them. But the thing to bear in mind is like, so this is potentially a stronger just delete button for elite packs. The difference is that like, what demolition doesn't kill, it CCs just for Jesus. Like the knockback on it is absolutely bonkers. So you can fight these guys if you have to, like, you know, you can kind of duck and weave, but it's like, why take the risk? You know, we're so far past the point in the game where we need to like melee our way through basic mobs that, like, why force yourself to do it if you don't have to? Sure, if for whatever reason you have to, if you're being EP drained or something, even then I would just run away from the EP drainer and quaff a bunch of potions and try to like dive in and snipe them, or you know, use an ultimate on them if necessary. But yeah, this is one of the more dangerous places in the game, and it might not seem that dangerous, but part of it is like, when I see things that can kill me like that, you know, I have my ultimate up and I can just kind of safely delete it. And this ability really helps us out as well, because the stun on this ability makes it very safe to engage with. It's not as good as Colossus's charge, but it's definitely up there as far as melee abilities go. And you can easily, like, just let this ability take you to the end of the game, and even through hard difficulty if you want. I don't know about, like, hard speccing into it personally, because the main value is the stun. And the damage will start to fall off hard. It's a low damage ability. It's, you know, it's balanced for the fact that it can hit a lot of people. I hate these guys.
I have to do is slow you down. You've got enough air.
But yeah, it sucks to have to just like drill them down like that, but you got to do it. Like, look, sometimes it's fine to have some ankle biters following you. Depends on how strong you feel and, you know, what you're going into. there's just a lot of boss mobs in the core now. Like, look at this aura in here. And then we've got, like, a pack of elites here, and, like, look how much damage these guys are doing. So the combination of that and bleed is just, like, really strong for killing, like, chunky stuff. And then, of course, you want to use your buff on top of that to really maximize the damage on bleed. But you don't need that for, like, regular enemies. And this is where we're going to need a respec, because we're going to need these 2 points. Like, this guy is so point hungry, but not necessarily, like, in a bad way. You know, part of why he's point hungry is he just has a lot of good stuff that you can put those points into. Like it kind of sucks. Like, this is garbage. We will need it at some point, but I'm not gonna go too crazy. Anyway, we will continue buffing this. The stun duration doesn't go up. The cost goes up. Nah, let's not worry about it. I actually just put a point into... See, I do want to start getting points into this. It's so freaking important, especially for your boss damage. And, like, we are going to get to a point where, like... we get to something like Sugar Man, right? And he needs to die. Like against guys like that, like, he needs to just not exist. Like, instantly, we need to Thanos snap him out of existence, or he will just kill us. Alright, let's see if we can... Yeah, there's a lot of, like, horrible stuff in here. Thankfully... You know, it's as I say, like, the one thing you won't want if you play Wolverine or Sabretooth, you're not going to complain about your damage. Your damage is going to be really good. Even if you just kind of throw points around willy-nilly, like, their attacks are, like, just do a lot of damage. Like, this Talon Rage, it's called Eviscerate on Wolverine, so I tend to think of it as Eviscerate. This one, like, at point 1, does almost 700% physical damage, and then causes the enemy to take more damage as well. Like, it applies a debuff. So, like, you just hit them with that twice in a row, very little of the game isn't going to die. Like, you know, damage is not your problem with these guys. The problem is they don't have, like they've got decent CC, but it's not, like, god tier, and the range on it is not quite enough. Yeah, we want to... Oh my lord. Like, you see that they just half health us. Like, enemies can do crits and stuff in this game, so, like, you don't know. Like, were they critting? Is that why they did so much damage? Was it the aura and they didn't crit? If they had critted, could they have killed us? Like, I don't know. But I know I've seen characters of mine get, like, one-shotted by mobs like that in the past. This guy should be a little bit safer, because enemies, especially higher damage enemies, you know, they tend to be doing a decent amount of elemental damage. And we do have some, like, okay resistances because of our passive here, so you can see. So, you know, our health pool is, like, not actually the greatest. It's like we have been trying to pump health, but at the same time, it's like, you know, this is just how I have to play, whereas it's like stuff can kill me, but hopefully I can kill it faster. And, like, you know, with a little bit of CC, and then, you know... But this is where you have to start, you know, actually, like, respecting enemies a little bit more. Like, there are mobs in Act 2 that I think deserve some respect, particularly when they're being, like, dropped on you from the ceiling. Yeah, so we want to take out those guys who can CC. That's, like, the first thing. And these guys, I hate them so much, but... There's not much we can do about it. See, even this, it just... But they're not very threatening. They're mainly just like a, you know, they take up space and they angle bite, and then, you know, the idea, it's a patience test. Because the thing is, if you don't kill them, then I do hate this though. Like, please, like, have a little bit of respect for my time as a developer, and like, just don't make enemies do shit like this. Like, it's okay to have them, like, you know, hang around, right? But like, if I'm actually going to make the correct decision and invest the time into like chasing them down, like, don't punish me for doing that by having them like infinitely fucking kite me back to the start of the level. Like, that's just some bullshit. Like, have them keep at like a persistent distance from the player, but like genuinely just give them a fucking like set distance that they'll kite you for, and after that, like, you know, reward the player. Just say like, oh, okay, yeah, you know, you actually put the effort into like, you know, running them down, so we'll actually just let you like have that. So what do we got here? We got energy damage striking. This is electrical damage, but it also gives us HP and focus and just a smidge of resistances, which could be quite nice. That's going to be huge. So we lose any non-physical damage, but I'm not too worried about that. I think the first enemies in this game that have any kind of like meaningful physical resistances are the Morlock Bruisers. Oh, freaking EP drain. But like, see, this is where these guys can actually get like dangerous, whereas like they've got an ability on them that just like all they have to do to get value from it is just exist, because that's all they're good at doing, is just existing. You know, like, when I say, like, please, if you make a game, like, respect the time of your players, because this is some, like, bullshit. And it's like, there are games that, like, they just cannot, like, it's like, this is a good game and I like this game, so I will put up with this bullshit. But believe me, if you are a dev and you make a game, like, there are people who just stop you playing your game because of shit like this. And, like, you better fucking pray that everything else about your game is fucking goated when you put garbage like this in it. And like I say, it's literally just not necessary at this point. It's just like, you were too lazy to put the necessary quality of life changes in to make it not shit for the player. Whereas it's like, okay, we want to have this enemy that like is just a patience check and a constant resource drain, and if you push forward with them there, then they're gonna cause you all these. Like, this guy may just not be able to die. Like, especially when I literally use abilities on him and they just don't even hit him. Like, they're gonna do no damage if they hit, but they don't even hit. No, I can't kill this guy. We just have to literally ignore him. That's so fucking depressing and stupid. But as I say, for the most part, I really like the enemy AI in this game. Just those guys are like absolute fucking trash. Like, total shitbag enemy that really shouldn't exist in the game. And as I say, like, if it were literally just the tankiness, then, and the fact that, like, they just kind of ankle bite, like, that's fine. It's just, like, on top of that, to have them just infinitely kite you is just, like...
Luckily, one size fits all.
Like, where's the gameplay? But at the same time, it's like, I also have to kind of accept that it's like, look, if you're playing with 4, you can actually deal with it. And because they are, like, so fucking non-threatening, if you have to, you can just ignore them. Literally taking a sip of my Pepsi, and you have to be a dick. Do I actually need some elemental damage? Like, have I just balked myself by selling all this stuff? Yeah, I may have, like, balked myself. I always forget that, like, I do tend to pump focus quite a lot, so... That's alright. We'll find some elemental gear and chuck it on. I walked up to that guy and I pressed that button like 3 times, if you were wondering like what I was doing. I'm not too worried about this. Now, if you don't waste ultimates and don't, like, go into, like, really goofy positions... This is a pretty... manageable level. My main concern is, like... This is a... I'll happily fight them one at a time, you know, Kung Fu movie style. Way safer. But yeah, my main worry here is having enough ult to either just delete or really just chunk down Sugar Man, because he can just kill us. Like, if we have to try to like duck and weave and actually get in and out and fight him like properly without being invincible, it could end really, really freaking badly. Can't get over there. I do want to clear that room. So there's a possibility that we can get a third ult before we actually take him on, and that would be really nice. So whenever you see that, like some shit like that happen, like I'm telling you, like I am adjusting my mouse in between swings, and the game just does not give a shit. Like auto-targeting in this game is so bad, but you know, it was originally a console game. And like sharing inputs like that is just never good. The end result is always going to kind of stink. Nothing, be quiet. But yeah, I feel like we should be okay against Sugar Man. Even 2 ults should chunk him down a decent amount. Like, I shouldn't waste my time throwing enemies. Like, sometimes it feels cool when you, like, get a really nice one off. But most of the time, it just, like... It's... You know, the actual ability to aim and control where you're throwing it is just, like, so limited. I just walked right into the stun. And like, look how long that stun lasts for. If there's a bunch of them just hitting you with that, you're just fucked. This ability, like, sometimes it hits everything and sometimes it just hits nothing. Like, all melee abilities in this game, sometimes they just don't hit anything. There's nothing you can fucking do about it. Come on. I don't know, I'm just in a mood today and I don't want to be dealing with like shit that just doesn't work. I don't want to be made to feel like a cripple in game when I'm like literally doing the right thing. As long as we control the positioning, we can, you know, easily mitigate for like the janky qualities of the attacks and actually get them to like hit relatively consistently. But, you know, sometimes the game just doesn't give you like a good opportunity to like control the engagement. Like, of course, we could bait these guys back, but it's like, where am I going to bait them? To like this corner? They're just going to spread out from this corner. And it's probably still better than engaging them in the hole. But it's just the realities of being a melee character, like there are just engagements that kind of suck for you. But it's like anytime you can like, you know, pull enemies somewhere like this. It's not that bad. I wish this ability, you know, properly, like, I wish it was as good at ignoring hit mass as the charge is. You know, one of the big problems in games is like, very welcome level. Yeah, this doesn't gain stun, so it doesn't feel like a good point investment to actually pump it. Yeah, the main selling point of this ability is the movement and the fact that it does stun. Of course. It also being able to do damage is kind of a pretty good quality of life, just being able to spam it, but that's the reality of it. Any game like this with builds, it's not a bad feeling either to feel like you know, kind of always want more skill points, more. That's amazing. Yeah, we'll just do it here. To hell with that room. It's like the second I let them go into that room, they just start making my life hard by just insta-kiting back.
Situation's bad.
I couldn't tell if he was dead or if it was just a, you know, janky ass freaking hitboxes doing what they do. And yeah, you don't have to be too careful around these guys, especially if it's just one, but even two, especially when like the other one could come in, like enemies can kind of aggro in. And what are you gonna do about it if you're stun locked? Obviously, nothing. That's why you don't want to get stun locked. It's way cooler to break the doors. Alright. So this is one of the more dangerous parts. These guys, they're not that dangerous on their own. The damage in the CC is obviously not pleasant, but man, I love that. But yeah, the damage in the CC is obviously not great. If we lower that now, we'll take damage, so we're not going to. We'll come back and get it. Yeah, this could be worth putting on, even though... Yeah, let's just see how that goes to get some non-physical just into the mix. Oh yeah, much better, much better. And yeah, I don't mind just kind of bashing my way through here. Here's where we need to start taking it a little bit more seriously, because if you push into this room, those the tyrants can pop you up and CC you into the water and just one-shot you. So we want to... kite really carefully in these areas, and if we have to take a fight, like, we want to be up against the wall kind of thing. And those guys... These guys... We want them, you know, between... How does that not hit? Anyway, we want them between us and this, the poop water. That's a really scary aura. Okay, what I can do now, I think, is yeah, switch them back. And yeah, you just move through here slow and steady. Use these corners, use the, you know, the outside edge of the map, and if you see stuff like that,
Well, what have we here?
you know, those guys who kite, they're here to pull you out of position. That's their job. You're supposed to chase them, and then, you know, the tyrants come from the grassy knoll and CC you. And if your positioning is off, that guy was so freaking tanky, but part of it was just like, I couldn't get a freaking damage ability to actually hit him. But yeah, now we just repeat this on the other side, and then this is the most dangerous part of the cordon. After that, it's just we, you know, always have to worry about those hammer guys, but we actually have fewer of them going forward, so, you know, it's just the frustration of those cloaking boys, and then, you know, the final boss, who potentially dangerous.
Good job. Good.
But I think I can get another level, and I think that might mean another extreme token. If it does, three extreme tokens should give him the business, but there's only one way to find out. Yeah, having a little bit of non-physical damage mixed in, like, really helps. How does that not hit? Like, I'm literally swinging into him and he doesn't hit. The bleed is so satisfying. Step into my office, please. Oh, this is potentially a little bit dangerous, but fine. We just get into a corner, so it's like the worst that can happen is we just get CC'd into the corner. Always nice. Which is like, it doesn't feel fun, but it's not gonna kill me. this. Nice and comfy. Look at this dickhead. Make sure this side's clear. We got a scary aura in here. Astonishing. It's electrical damage, alright. Yeah. Could be better than the mental damage. Let's try that. There's a little bit of resistance too, which is... So those guys are freaking dangerous, and they just came out of nowhere. Like, they were pulled in from so far away. Shake that, healthy tech coil. But yeah. I'm not worried now. The boss fight is a concern, but you know, all I can do is press my buttons and you know, try to stick and move if I have to. And either it works
Good job. You need to
or
locate.
it doesn't. You know, at least I will have my... I don't even know if I want to waste an extreme token on the resurrect. I definitely want to pump that up a little bit. Although... No. Yeah, it might be time to start getting this. Because if you do have to stick and move, you know, speeding up those attack animations, like... So it's that fast now. Can allow you to like get in and out without taking damage. And the biggest advantage, you know, the biggest thing with this is not so much that the speed gives you goes up. It does go up, but you know, it's not huge. But it's more just like when it actually has a passable amount of duration, you know, you use it. Yeah, we don't want to fight those jerks like from that angle. I've actually kind of gone completely the wrong way here. Yeah, I thought there was a way in from up here. Oh, it is what it is. I need a flyer to get the homing beacon anyway, so maybe we just skip it. There's some EXP there, some potential gear rewards, but it's a really annoying enemies. And if I'm not going to get the homing beacon, because I don't have a flyer, like, you can do some parkour to get it, but...
A trespasser.
Très fabulous. Très fabulous. We can't put it on yet, but oof, that'd be nice. Definitely one to keep in the stash. So if you want to be really safe against those guys, you want to actually bait that combo out of them. I'll see if I can do it here. Yeah, it's really difficult with a mob this big, but what you actually want to do is bait that attack out and then attack them. Because if they start that animation at the same time as you hit them with even with an ability that has a stun or something, it won't stun them out of the animation. They'll still complete it. They'll just be stunned when it's completed. So, you know, you actually want to bait that attack out, which, you know, if there's a couple, it's very doable, but when there's like 5 like that, you know, it's probably still better to bait a few out rather than eating a bunch. If you can live with the EP cost, bleed definitely makes your life easier against those guys. They're so annoying though, just the way they physically get in the way. And you know, they just like exist while you're trying to deal with other things. Like, this is what you're supposed to chase them down, because that's when they can, you know, become vulnerable to taking full damage. But it's just like, they just run too far. Like, I'm sorry. Like,
Stay where you are. You find nothing. Shouldn't have been with me. Stay where you are.
like, it's just zero gameplay enemies. I hate them so much. And it's like, they're really, like, they're kind of only a threat when they can be rewarded for just existing. So, like, either when they're just physically, like, body blocking you and messing with you when you're trying to deal with actually dangerous stuff, or when they have some kind of, like, passive aura or something that allows them to fuck you up just by literally existing.
Who's bad?
Otherwise, they're just like, what is this? Come on. This is literally like, I'm trying to play the fucking game. I want to go have some gameplay, but I have to fucking stand here and just watch this thing go whoosh, 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 and just literally run around a room for no fucking reason. It's like I say, like, there have to just be, like, you have to put hard, like, you have to fucking hardcode limits on enemies like that. That it exists to waste the player's time. 100%, there's nothing wrong with that, but there has to be a fucking limit to it.
There's a lot to choose from, huh?
And I'm not sure if that's actually worth keeping. But yeah, they're such a nuisance, and it's like the core is otherwise like dangerous and good, and like there's nothing wrong with having, I don't know. There's nothing wrong with having enemies in the game that just kind of exist to be like a nuisance and to amplify it and stuff like that. But as I say, it's just like there has to be some, like, you can't make them like absurdly tanky and then like absurdly kitey on top of that, where it's like they literally just exist to waste the player's time and essentially make you get so bored that you give up trying to interact with them. Like, that's literally the gameplay that the devs are going through. I don't know if they realize that that's what they did, that that's the gameplay that they created. Like, I just bought like 20-something potions, and I've gone through like 7 of them just killing one of those fucks. That miss. Yeah, that's the actual boss. How does this miss this guy just like 7 times in a row? It hits everything else, but it just cannot fucking hit this one guy. Anyway, it sucks, and it's kind of dangerous and stupid to ignore them, but I'm genuinely sick of them. And like, that's the reaction you're going for as a developer. Like, you're actively looking to make your players like uncomfortable and unhappy at that point. You're just like, wow, look, you won. Like, you made the gameplay so boring that I refuse to interact with it, even though that presents a danger to me. Now I actually have to kill these guys. Because I need to be able to go around this arena and like... Oh god, can I see where I'm going? Game, please? Thank you? No? Anything? Can I have a camera angle where I can see any... Like, I literally can't move, I can't see anything. And it won't even let me manually adjust my fucking camera angle. Are we actually joking now? Alright, I hate these enemies. Like, they don't even want to fucking interact with the player. Like, I'm actually waiting for it to come. Anyway, we just need to get a couple of extreme tokens. Crack some barrels open or something.
Stay where you are.
Jesus, is there just genuinely just nothing here? Alright. So whenever a game like this just like cannot behave itself, you know, you always have the option to do stuff like this. Just, hey, if you're not gonna play fair, like, that's fine. I can use like cheese and and stuff like that as well. You know, if we're gonna be toxic, that's fine. I can be toxic too. You know, but the main consideration there is just that we're not fighting that boss with one extreme token. And the energy pots aren't going to make any difference. If this fight goes so long that I use more than 12 pots, there was never any hope for winning it. But it feels good to have them anyway. So.
I guarantee all of it, 100%.
And I could get a bonus skill point. And a level. Hold on. How am I for... Oh, I'm so close to a level. Yeah, let's not worry about that. And I don't quite want to get my redistribute yet. I want to unlock this first. Although, it's not really going to make any difference, but... You know, if I do it now or later. Alright. We're about as well equipped for this fight as we can be. We just have to kind of go in and hope our extremes kind of carry us. If I really need to... If if I really need to, I can kite him around the room, break all the boxes, like get another extreme. Oh, that does not do enough damage for my tastes, but... You know... So I need to get him to do that combo, the one he just did, and then go in for some damage. But the first thing I want to do is, as I say, if I can get another ultimate, why not? You know, chip him down as much as possible. The thing is, I really want to like hit him with my 4 before using it. Yeah, we got it now. Alright. Let's just try to kite a little bit. And... yeah, there we go. Alright. There we go. Ooh, give me a solid, thank you. Yeah, that's what we don't want, is the CC into the combo. We have... Did you see how much damage that did? This is what I'm saying. We have to respect the fucking damage that this guy can do. Uh-oh. Yeah, that's what we need. We need to bait that out, and then... yeah, I want to use that as an escape, but we should have this now. We should have this now.
Face it, chum. You ain't got the stuff to take me.
There we go. Another. Uh-oh. Missed. That's fine, though. Uh-oh. Ooh. Okay, that was a little bit spicy. But I'm pretty happy with it. Like, when I saw how little damage the ultimate did to that guy, I was like, oh no, we're gonna actually have to fight him. But it's not too bad. It's not, you know, you just have to bait that out. And you know, you just have to know. Like, don't even take the chance. When you see that attack, come in and hit him at the end of it. Like, don't mess with it. Don't fucking...
There you go.
You know, thankfully he's not that tanky, so it's not like a huge endurance trial. But that was a really fun fight, I can't lie. Like, you know, these are like the fights you want to have when you play a game like this, where it's just like, is it that complicated? Is it some like Dark Souls boss fight? Nah. Is it fun? Hell yeah, because, you know, when you play like this, the stakes are high, and you're in a situation where you can die. Like, you saw that he halved health us as one shot, and he does a 3-hit combo that CCs. So if that shot knocks you down, and you have no follow-up, no escape, which you won't because you CC'd, you just die if he hits those second 2 shots on you. Even if he just hits 1. But yeah. We got through. I am also very concerned about the boss fight at the end of the Infinite Factory as well, but let's get our head pats here.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that, we got a level. Really nice. And it's probably time to get the redistribute, but honestly, I kind of need to farm. you know, I kind of need to farm some credits, so... We're going to be doing like a very, very, very slow and methodical playthrough of the Infinite Factory when I get to it, because...
Did you want some?
actually, what I can do is I can buy a level here. That's good. So get one immediately afterwards, and then, yeah, actually buy my respec too, because the first
I
respec is
guarantee
so
all of
cheap.
it, 100%.
Let's just get ourselves like a nice fat power spike here, which will set us up nicely, because I'm not too worried. I'm honestly not too worried about the Infinite Factory with this guy. The only thing I am concerned about is... yeah, we're just not even going to use block, and I desperately need the skill point, so... Alright, how many points did I have in here? Yeah, it was definitely at 20%. It sucks to lose that many skill points just off the... You know... So the question is whether we leave all these at low level and, you know, try to buff our damage through attack speed and passive, which is kind of the cheap way to do it, or whether we balance these two getting max with at least one of these. It probably just has to be this one, because it does so much damage. It also buffs the damage that the enemy takes, so yeah. It also takes very few skill points to actually max. So let's go 4 in there. Let's go 4 in there. And how many do we have in this? Honestly, let's get this up to 26%. This is our only survival ability. Like, we're... really reliant on this to just kind of keep us alive for like the chip damage and, you know, stop us getting one shot too easily, because lots of things do elemental damage in this game. So this is super... This is actually getting to the point where like it's starting to look pretty freaking nice. Like, but yeah, I feel like we're nicely set up for the Infinite Factory, which is going to be a lot easier than the core. The boss fight, well, the boss fight's a struggle. We should be able to just instantly take out the X-Men with our ultimate, and then, you know, go smash up the computer things, so I'm not feeling like it's going to be that much of a stress. We should be fine. And they do a lot of non-physical damage as well, so having those resistances is going to really help us from, you know, hopefully just not get burst down in that, like, initial part where they just freeze and bully you and everything else. But yeah, pretty happy with how that went. And time-wise, not too bad either. I'll definitely do the Infinite Factory at some point tonight, but that's gonna take a little bit longer. Anyway, take care, Internet. Thanks for anyone who checked out, anyone who checked in.